Hello, I'm Svitek, 360 Creative Coach, and in this episode, I want to talk about the idea that information without action is meaningless. Now, before I fully get into it, I would like to take the opportunity to invite you to subscribe, if you haven't already, that way you get all the various lessons and episodes that I put out right when I put them out. Thank you if you just did, and thank you if you already were. It truly does mean a lot to me, as I hope it does to you. So, let's get into this, right? It's a very sort of simple notion. Information without action is meaningless. One of the pivotal books in my life was this book called The Way of the Peaceful Warrior, written by Dan Millman. And I read it when I was 15. And what's so amazing about it, there's this mentor that Dan has. And the mentor has this quote of like, hey, you know how to clean a windshield? And he's like, yeah. Okay, well, wisdom is doing it. And he throws him the thing to clean the windshield with, right? And so, a lot of us love to, and maybe I'll just speak for myself, a couple years back, I used to just love consuming information and so forth. But now, when I learn something new, I automatically try to see, okay, how does it apply to my life and what can I do with it? Because that's really, at the end of the day, and by the way, I'm not advocating for like a hustle culture where like you have to just be on nonstop and so forth. But, this idea of information overload and so forth is meaningless if you don't do anything with it. You can look at it as like our purpose in life. We each have to define our purpose in life, or if you believe in a higher power, then you have been bestowed a purpose in that life. And the only way to showcase your purpose is to do something. And so the knowledge from books, podcasts such as this one and whatever other ones, TV shows, documentaries, movies, life in general, friends, family, whatever, all the various places we can get knowledge from, school, right, certainly, it doesn't mean anything until you actually do something with it. That is the crux of it. And, the irony, is that it's just such a simple truth, right? It really is. I could end the episode right here, right now, and it's like, yeah, no duh, right? It's such a no duh thing. Like, of course it makes sense. And yet, so many of us just don't do anything, just with the information that we know. Myself included, right? I'm not berating anyone else. How many times, in our own lives, we know to not let the ego get in our way, or, we know that we should say something to our friend if something's bothering us and we need to put up boundaries, or, we're in a toxic relationship with a partner, something like that, or, you're in a toxic work environment, or however large or small a thing is. Most oftentimes we know the thing that we should do, but we get paralyzed by fear or something or other, right? And that's where therapy comes in to try to unpack that. But nonetheless, the idea being that, we're just paralyzed and don't actually do the thing that we should be doing. And, in that way, sometimes having these simple truths of information without action is meaningless. Just having that very baseline reminder can be the spark of oh yeah, you're right, I gotta do something about it. And by the way, when I say that phrase, sure, I'm talking to you, but I'm also really talking to myself, because ultimately a lot of these episodes, in truth, that I do are really just reminders for myself, so I do them, right? By putting them out into the universe verbally, it's a reaffirmation for myself, so I really ingrain it into my spirit and my body of these are things I should be doing, and by kind of putting it in the forefront, I stand a higher chance of doing it. So that's why I think oftentimes it is very important to go back to that very simple truth of and keep it simple, right? Keep it simple. So information without action is meaningless. Boom. that's your thing, right? Don't overcomplicate it. And so for all those reasons, I'll leave it there as well. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions or thoughts of your own, please comment down below or hit me up on social media at Svitek. Would love to converse with you or just provide you with encouragement, if nothing else. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I hope to see you next time.